Hello YouTube! Alright, this is my first Terran vs. Terran that I'm casting for you guys. And just a heads up, I am definitely not the best in Terran vs. Terran. It is my weakest matchup by far, but I try to win and I try to use builds that use a long macro game. Except that when it comes to siege tanks versus siege tanks, and it's who has the best siege tanks, who has the best position, who wins, I tend to lose more games. I sometimes use strategies like Thor Rush or Cloak Banshees sometimes, but I try to keep it standard, try and get better at it, but I'm just horrible at it. So this is one of the replays that I really wanted to show you that I feel that I did an okay job. I don't know why, but I always, in Terran vs. Terran, I scout here along the edges just to make sure he isn't proxy or axing me, because that has happened to me a lot in Gold League. So just speeding this up, I'm going for regular 1-1-1, like my Terran vs. Protoss, because that's the build I'm the most comfortable with, by far. So getting out my Marines, get the bunker. Usually I get a reactor on this barracks right now, but that's okay. Saving all my gas for siege tanks. So as of now, I only know that he's going for a 2-rack, so I'm expecting a push. That's why I put down this bunker, mainly. But now I decided to go scouting with the Hellion, see what he's up to. And I see he didn't throw down an expansion, except that that's his expansion. So he's building it, so I decided to throw down my own. So the game's pretty much just a regular turtle game, except that there's one point in this game that just really puts me ahead, and there's one point in this game that just puts me way behind. So yeah, now I'm getting my orbital. I'm still trying to pump out siege tanks, Vikings to get air control, some Marines and Marauders. I have way too many production facilities for one base. But one thing I really want to note is the income tab. Most Terrans in Gold League and Platinum League actually stop harvester production. I mean, it is a good thing for other races like Protoss to stop at a certain point and then resume, because having extra probes really doesn't do anything. But as a Terran, you use SCVs to repair, you use SCVs to build things, so the cost actually ends up being a lot higher for your production facilities, because your SCVs don't spend time mining. So that's why, as a Terran, you always want to keep SCVs. And look at that. Because I didn't stop my SCV production, as soon as I get 2 bases, my income just explodes. Especially with those 2 mules. So he throws down a scan, sees my army composition. I'm not worried. Throwing down more racks. And this is when I decide to push out. So I want to see if he has his 3rd down, and I see that he does. So I'm going to slow this down. And yeah, this is the part that puts me horribly behind. I wanted to select my siege tanks, except that I couldn't, so I couldn't siege them in time, and then I just lost everything. And it was just a really horrible engagement, and yeah, I was pretty mad at that point, because I lost pretty much my whole army. I did do a bit of damage, except that it wasn't good. And I pulled away with whatever army I have here. So now he's pretty far ahead. So I'm going to speed this up again. So I'm doing horrible on my macro. This is one of my earlier games, because I don't cast these games in order. So I threw down my 3rd, because I just denied his 3rd. I threw down more barracks so I can make more units, because my macro is horrible. Getting them upgrades. I realize I don't have enough gas for everything. But that's okay, so I'm double producing siege tanks. Well, I was, until I stopped. And one thing that's really important in Terran vs. Terran is map control. So this is why I send my guys here to the watchtower and grab the other watchtower. Map control tells you everything, and then you actually have time to siege up your tanks in a favorable position. This Terran, for some reason, doesn't really care. I mean, he lost the watchtowers, he's not really trying to get it. And this is a changing point in the game. So he just scanned this base. And I have a feeling that he's going to attack this base because, well, he scanned it, he saw it, and he wants to take it down. And I have my guys at the watchtower, and I see all his army coming. And I see that it isn't that big. And actually, my army is way bigger. So, here, I siege up, and just... I could have just moved in for the kill, but I didn't know if he had siege tanks backing up. Because he did clear the watchtower, so now I go take it back. And this is when I see, oh, he's gearing up to take his third. So I see all of his army here. I'm controlling both watchtowers, so I can just slip by and go attack his third. That was my plan. So yeah, I see him taking his third, and I mean his gold's base. So I'm swinging by his third. It's planetary fortress, but that's okay. Bring all my tanks in, sieging him up. It's actually kind of funny because most of my tanks aren't in siege rage. But this is where I start pulling ahead. Finally in the game. Now I have horrible micro with my marines. I lose a bunch of them to siege tanks. I should be sieging these up a bit earlier. Because he had time to siege up on me. And he gets a few shots on my siege tanks. Now I run into his siege line, which is horrible. I lose a lot of marines. But Stim Marines versus Thor's, Stim Marines win. So yeah, this was a huge mistake. I lost almost all of my Marines in the siege line. Except that I dealt more damage than I took. And I'm sort of remacroing an army. Not the best at it though. So yeah, if you look at the income tab, I'm starting to starve him. He's not really mining on this base. He has this base that's barely mining, and he has his main that's probably mined out by now. So he doesn't have any income whatsoever. I mean, he has 1,000 for mules and the gold base, but as soon as that ends, he won't have any income. So I feel pretty good now. He's going to try to do a counterattack. I don't know if I spotted this, but this is his desperation move to prevent my income from settling down. And yeah, I'm just holding this position with this really little army. And yeah, that's about it to the game. He pushes into this base, and I have superior upgrades. I have 3-3, he has 2-2. I just take out his small push. And this is when the GG happens, because he's starved. If you pause right now and you look on the everyone cam, his mine base, he only has 1 mineral patch with 25 minerals left. He's not mining out of his gold base. So yeah, it's GG. So yeah, that's my attempt at playing a Terran versus Terran that's actually a macro style, but I'm really not the best. Yeah, I can't really give you tips on Terran versus Terran right now. I'm practicing it really hard. But yeah, thanks for watching.